Everyone has a favorite animal, and mine's a shark. So why not tell you guys stuff about them that you probably didn't know? For example, the first shark is this thing called the cladocelake. I think I'm saying that right. Which has an anvil-looking fin, which is apparently older than trees, dinosaurs, Saturn's stinking rings, and the North Star. Oh, and sharks also survived 5 massive extinctions. And I bet you didn't know coconuts are technically more dangerous than sharks because people tend to stand under the trees and people go bye bye 30 times more annually than sharks from falling on their heads. So in reality, we should be more scared of coconuts, not sharks. And unlike us silly humans where we have our baby teeth and adult teeth, sharks can have thousands of teeth because they're constantly replacing them. And even though they have about 50 to 300 teeth at a time, depending on the species, some of them could go through 30,000 teeth in their lifetime. Oh, and they also have skeletons made out of cartilage instead of bone, which basically just makes them more bendy. And sharks have like a spidey sense from their organ called the ampullae of Lorenzini, which is a very unique name for an organ. But it makes them detect electrical currents, so you can't win a game of hide and seek with them. So does that mean if I get bit by a radioactive shark, I'll have a sharky sense? I need to learn sign language though, because I wouldn't be able to talk or make any noise because sharks actually do not have vocal cords. Now let me go into more specific sharks, like the shark from Mako being the fastest shark, and is also a cousin of the great white. The major difference between the two look-wise is the Mako is blue instead of gray, and it's definitely smaller. Then there's the dwarf lantern shark, which is the smallest shark, and it gets its lantern name because it could go up in the water not only to attract prey, but also camouflage with the water to hide from predators. And since we're talking about size, the whale shark is the largest shark and fish in the ocean that's alive, with the basking shark being the second, and both are huge and all they eat is very tiny things like plankton. Then there's Greenland sharks, which are one of the longest living animals on Earth, and they aren't even adults until they turn 150 years old. Hey, yeah, I'll have a tunatini. Okay, can I see an ID? Yeah, sure. Hmm. Yeah, sorry, kid, you're not old enough to drink. Also, most of them are actually blind because of a parasite latching onto their eyes. Like, imagine being blind for 500 years. Then the big boy, the megalodon. They are actually the largest fish that ever lived at a whopping 60 feet in length, which is about a school bus and a Lambo, with a 10-foot wide mouth containing about 276 half a ruler long teeth. And the crazy part about those teeth is there's 7 rows of them. So with a build like that, the Mosasaurus got pretty lucky that dinosaurs and the Meg never coexisted, or they would have been in big trouble. But as millions of years passed, the Meg got nerfed, and it shrunk to my favorite shark, the almighty great white shark, and they could grow to about a third of a megalodon. And their blood is very unique because they're one of the few sharks that are warm blooded, and they also have toxic blood from high levels of mercury and arsenic. Like, why does a shark have mercury in it? I don't know. But have you ever seen a great white shark in an aquarium? Alright, you're lying, because if you said yes, they can't be in aquariums. And you wanna know why? Because they'll get depressed. They're big creatures that need to be swimming all the time and hunt, but they can't really do that when they're stuck in an aquarium the whole time. So when they are, they'll go into like an emo phase and they tend to ram into the glass a lot and will not eat any food fed by humans. So they'll just starve if they don't get released. Then there's bull sharks, which are also up there in my favorites. They're super aggressive and they get their name because they tend to headbutt their prey before attacking. And they're also one of the only sharks that can live both in fresh and salt water. And another shark that's up there in my list is definitely the tiger shark. And I did not know that they were the fourth largest shark species. And the biggest one was about like 25 feet long, which is longer than any great white ever recorded. And despite their massive size, they will literally eat anything. It doesn't even have to be edible, they just love to eat. And they have no problem cutting through anything with their literal razor sharp teeth. Now, let's get into more unfamiliar types of sharks, like the cookie cutter shark. They're like 1 to 2 rulers long, live in super deep waters, and they could actually glow. And they use their very sharp teeth to bite on their prey, and then they spin around to leave a cookie-like bite on them, hence their name. So they're basically a glow stick with teeth. And there's goblin sharks. They look fun, and they got long noses. They're pinkish, and their jaws do that. And they live in very deep water and are about 10 to 12 feet long. Some have been double that for some reason. Then there's frilled sharks, which is like a combination of a shark and an eel, and they attack just like snakes, so they're very unique looking. But in my opinion, the most unique thing about them is their teeth. I mean, look at those things. Oh, and I forgot about this shark, the megamouse shark. They're big sharks and have diets just like whale and basking sharks. And interestingly enough, we don't even know its actual lifespan, so who knows? It could be immortal or live for a year. And there's a shark with a baby face called the thresher shark, and it's related to the great white shark, and it's known for its long 9-foot top tail fin, which is used to whip and stun prey. It also uses their tail to go flying into the air, with no confirmed reason. They just love to. Finally, one of the most interesting that really caught my attention was the helicorpion, which is technically not a shark. I believe it's shark-like. They're around the same size as a great white shark, and the only reason I really wanted to include it is because look at the bottom jaw of this thing. I mean, I don't even understand the benefits of having those teeth, but it must be very uncomfortable. But yeah, those are some of the many facts about sharks that I found fun and interesting. If you learned anything, just know that the three biggest sharks aren't even dangerous to us. Sharks could be unique looking and come in many different sizes. And they aren't even as dangerous as people make them seem, but they will bite you if you don't keep your distance. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned something new about sharks. And if you guys want me to do any more videos that involve facts about anything really, just let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one.